I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. We've got Jimmy Rio and myself, Danny G, in the house. And here's the first question for you gentlemen tonight. So the big fight on Saturday night was obviously Aljo and Triple C. Were you guys surprised at how that ended up?
Yeah, I actually thought it was a much better fight than what I thought it would be.
Were you leaning Triple C or no?
At the end, I thought if this wasn't a title fight, yes. But to be the champ and you're facing the champ, you've got to soundly beat him. If I think this was just a regular, top contender fight, I think, Cejudo wins this all the way. But being that, you didn't go out and put a big-time stamp on it, I can't say it was a robbery or anything like that. And definitely a much better, like I said, they're both high-level wrestlers, so I figured it'd be filling each other out, not taking too many chances because they don't want to get taken down. And it was action-packed, so good fight. Not upset by the decision. Like I said, you got to go out and really just beat the champ.
Right.
But yeah, if this wasn't a title fight, I do think Cejudo would have won it, though.
That's what my thoughts were when I was watching. First off, I did think that Aljamain was going to win before the fight anyway. Gained respect for him for the last fight that he got in, and just purely dominated that top to
TJ.
bottom. Yeah, TJ just disgusting. That was the disgusting
the shoulder, right?
Shoulder popping in and out, gross, right? So I thought it was him, especially Cejudo not fighting since 2020. So we're on a 3-year stretch here. Aljamain has been fighting at a very high level. Last 5 fights now. Even when we weren't giving him any love. Who was that?
Ever since Peter Yan, he got the belt by disqualification, he's progressed big time since
tremendously, right? So, but it also showed to me. So when you said they were feeling out, you were 100% right. They didn't. Did they even go to the ground in the first couple rounds?
No, yeah, they did. There was a couple takedowns by each guy.
But mostly it looked like they were trying to feel each other out, kind of bang it out up top. I don't know if I was a Cejudo guy, but a little bit of respect there. I mean, 3 years not being in there, and just he wins wherever he goes, right? I mean, he was a wrestling champ and all that too. So, like Chris said, though, you have to purely win. There can't be even a conversation if it goes to decision like that. And it stays with him and everything right there. But all the shit that happened in the ring afterwards,
wild, right?
It was wild. Sure was wild.
When was the last time you seen somebody on the outside get pulled into the ring, pulled into the octagon, to go ahead and basically have the face-off for the fight that's going to come maybe here down the road? But
that's the next one.
It is.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? I know you're not an O'Malley guy.
No, they're doing a little WWE stuff, They
gotta sell it.
Yeah, they got to sell it. It wasn't. They're both kind of weird shit talkers, especially in a spot like that. But it was good. They're gonna hype it up. I know you're big on O'Malley, but I'll be very surprised if that's even a close fight. Sterling is so good, man.
So good. I think he knows he's so much better on, taking him down. I think he'll just take him down and finish him. No need to get back on your feet or allow him to get back on his feet. Yeah, I think it's not going to go well.
Who was his last opponent? O'Malley's. Because he lost
Peter Yan too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he did beat Peter Yan.
Before that one. Because Peter Yan, he clearly beat, right?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a doubt there. There was a fight right before that one where, like, I think I was watching with you, and I was like, dude, he probably lost this one. But
I can't remember who he fought before Peter
I'm going to
Yan.
look that up real quick because
Pedro Munoz, but I don't remember when that was.
I'm gonna look it up real quick, just because like I'm pretty certain me and you watched it, and I was sitting there.
The Peter Yan one is the one you're thinking of.
Is it? Wasn't that?
Because even that's the one where like there's videos of Khabib in the back, and he's reacting to the decision. He's like, "Are you serious?" Like Peter Yan, it was kind of like a title fight thing, right? Peter Yan should have beat the shit out of him, but it was close. He still should have won, but it was way too close. Like Peter Yan's better in my opinion than that, but they gave it to O'Malley, even though it seemed like he won that fight. That's the one that I think you're thinking of, yeah.
So I am with you guys. I think that I do, even though I'm an O'Malley guy, because I like the shit talking, I like the knockout stuff and all that, but I do believe Aljamain's going to fuck him up because O'Malley isn't a ground guy, and Aljamain's very well rounded. So, but I do like some of the pre-antics where the coat, one of the.
Yeah. O'Malley took his coat off or whatever to, get in his face or whatever, and Aljamain's fighting partner or whatever snatched it off the ground and put it on. It was just standing there beside him, just grinning at him.
And he is a bad motherfucker,
He is
too.
a bad motherfucker, too, yeah.
Right.
What, speaking of fighting, actually, I saw the face-off between Nate Diaz and Paul. Is it Jake Paul, right?
Yeah.
And that shit was actually kind of funny, too. Like, I don't know what I think is actually going to happen in that fight, but I'm a little bit entertained because Diaz is involved with this whole thing, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the face-off.
I didn't. I wonder how.
I heard it was awkward. Is what it was.
Yeah, it was funny. It was weird. Like Diaz is just kind of that, like shoulders like tight. Like he always looks like he's like, I don't know if it's nervous or like something's weird about his shoulders and stuff. So it was a weird kind of face-off, but maybe supposed to be funny, but you're not sure. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I just think he's entertaining regardless.
Oh, we're looking it up right now. That's really loud, though.
That is pretty loud.
That's what I gotta do when I'm doing a video. Gotta be able to see where the voices and stuff line up, right?
How does he always has his shoulders closed like this? Like,
You're getting a code 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. You can get your tickets for this massive event on August 5th in Dallas. And there's Zach Rosenfield also.
What?
yeah, they almost like slap fought for a second. And then it was just they just stood there. It was
so weird.
That
Weird
is
as
that's
shit.
so
That's weird.
So it gives you the awkward moment. That reminds me of Step Brothers all the way. The fucking two brothers that are like don't know how to hug and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that just reminded me of right there. I don't know who's gonna end up winning that. Street brawler in a way when it comes to like the stand up version and a guy that's kind of turned himself into a little bit of a boxer here. But
I don't know if he could knock
I did
Diaz
see-
out. That's the thing. I think he would have to, right?
if he knocks him out, I'm fully on board with these being rigged. Like before it was a hot topic, like because you seen like the glove flinch or whatever. That was one for the Tyrone Woodley, like letting you know this is it right here. There's rumblings of that. If you knock out Diaz is used to taking like basically a bare fist to the fucking face and like being gushed open. You're not. Has he been knocked out in the UFC?
I don't think he has.
Like not. I'm talking about out. Like knockout punch. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, it'd be rigged then. A knockout ain't gonna happen. They'll be bloodied up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope it's a
bloody.
good fight.
I just think Diaz is one of the guys that he don't care how much you're gonna pay him. He may even be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll lay down and then just beat the piss out of him."
Yes.
Just
I hope
just
that
to
happens
fuck-
too.
Yeah, just to be like, "Fuck you."
Oh, I would love that.
We could actually see the end of Jake Paul right here because he already lost one that was, and then he's came back and said there was issues, blah, 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 blah. This could be the end right here. He takes another loss. There'd be no interest anymore, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen because he's already looking past fucking Nate Diaz. You guys seen that? Like, he's like, there's a quote out there saying it's inevitable. And he was talking about him and Conor McGregor fighting. So I'm like, you're already looking past this one right here. We could finally be done just talking about Jake Paul altogether.
Man.
After this.
Yeah, because if he's talking about that, that's going to piss Diaz off too. Like, you're not even thinking about me right now, bitch.
Right.
What is that fight this weekend then?
August. No, it's August.
Oh, this is just like some of that.
A little bit of
play up
hype.
to it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awkward hype right out of the gate.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on some of the other ones on there though?
Yeah, what'd you think about the Gilbert Burns and Bilal? How do you say his name? Bilal?
Yeah. Bilal Muhammad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a interesting fight. I just think Gilbert Burns isn't fighting too much. He's fought 3 times in 100 days.
It's a lot.
You know, a lot for a weight cut, a lot for a beating and bruising to the body, and then trying to train for somebody, you know, and prepare yourself again. You know, and then another, you know, a loss. It's, you know, he was sitting up there in challenger status, and now he's kind of falling off.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think he's one of those, he loves the sport, and he's just willing to fight. Because I think this got started because he was just talking shit, saying, because somebody might have fallen off for Muhammad, and he's like, hey, I'm down, man. And, like, they get along and stuff. He's like, I'm down. Let's throw down and, you know, whatever. But it's so much. And I heard something about his shoulder, too. Gilbert Burns had some kind of shoulder. Did you hear that when they were fighting?
Something, and I know he's out indefinitely.
Okay, maybe it came out a little bit more after,
yeah.
but yeah. I don't know. Bilal's dangerous, though.
He is, yeah. I've liked him since he come out and, you know, started competing. So, yeah, he's climbed the ranks and stuff, so.
I like it. Another name in the mix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely not. 170 is crazy.
Yeah.
What's up next? Like, what's up next? What's the next big fight?
I don't know. There's just so many matchups you can make there. I mean, Colby's been waiting. Usman's still at the top there. Obviously, Leon Edwards holding the belt. You've had Kazman just hanging out there. I mean,
When was the last time he fought?
So apparently nobody will sign to fight him.
Yeah. Nobody wants to sign to fight him.
Why wouldn't you? We watched him. We watched him last
well,
fight. And
that's
it,
the
like,
thing.
He was
If you're sitting up high on, if you're sitting at 3 or 4 and he's behind you, why'd you risk that when you feel like title shots close? You know, one guy slip up, or, you know, it's all about a matchmaking game too. Say a guy ahead of you fights here in 2 months. You don't want to sign anything before that, or maybe in 6 months. 5 months, you know, whatever the case may be, you don't want to sign anything before that, because then if you lose, you slide. You know, maybe if he lost, you would jump ahead of him. It's just, it's a whole game to the
Plus,
whole
he's
deal,
heavy, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the weight cut seems to be a problem for him. I wish Whitaker and him would end up fighting.
He's number 4 right
That'd
now.
be a big fight.
You know, he talked about going to 85. It could definitely happen. I mean,
I think it would make more sense for him, but
yeah.
Because what, he failed? Yeah. He didn't make weight last time, right?
Yeah.
yeah, and then he beat the shit. It was Kevin Holland, I think.
Yeah, he beat
Yeah.
the piss out of Kevin Holland.
That was that card where Dana changed like 3 of the 3 main event fights.
Yeah,
around,
like
yeah.
moved him around. That's
Yep.
right. That's right. I remember that. Yeah, Usman. Well, on here it has him as number 3, right behind Usman, and then Leon Edwards.
Where the fuck does that have Colby? Oh, he must be 1.
Wait, Leon Edwards is 1. Or
No,
Leon
he-
Edwards is champ.
So there should be
Then
Colby.
They have
right?
Colby 6. They have hold on.
What
The Gilbert Burns one. I don't think has
Is
dropped
this
down.
the UFC one?
No.
Oh, go to UFC.
Oh.
UFC will be the UFC rankings.
Jimmer's on some random fight
Yeah.
club. Fucking
What is that? What is that?
opinions
Weather
page.
Underground? What is that? Weather Underground?
Let's take a look. I expect snow today. What?
Right.
Oh, no, that was Garner, North Carolina. Sorry.
Oops.
Rankings. Let's see. All right.
Because in that class, it should be Colby and Leon, right?
Should, yeah. I
Yeah.
believe is what they said was next.
Leon, Usman, Colby Covington.
But Usman has now lost twice in a row to old boy, so he won't get that third shot.
Yeah.
No. Muhammad is number 3. Kamzat, and then Burns slipped 1. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, just kind of you know, jockeying for a position and trying not to lose and trying to hold your spot. And I feel like that's what Burns was doing until the Kazman fight. and he knew the hype train was coming. I think that's why he took it. Lost it. But, I mean, it still was a good fight, so
Yeah, it
he
was.
stayed up there. But then I think to fight 2 more times, I just not a good deal.
No, not good at all, man. There are some pretty big fights coming this summer, though. Jones should be fighting Stipe. What is... God, maybe we got to look that up. I think there's one card coming up in maybe July that's, like, just stacked.
So
Every
there's
single...
Nunez, Aldana,
290 doesn't have anybody yet. 294.
July. Let's see.
Maybe it's the Nunez one that's juiced. Because all the rest of them are fight night, and 290 doesn't have a headliner. Yeah, that's got to be. There's Dan Hooker is on that one.
Yeah.
289. Charles Oliveira is fighting
Oh, there
again.
you go.
Benil Darush. That's really it besides the girls' title fight. Nothing big on that one, really.
Must be rumblings for the other one for maybe like
Maybe.
290.
Yeah, I thought I saw, like, a legit, like, this is what they're trying to line up, but maybe not.
Yeah, it doesn't have a headliner. You got Brandon Moreno versus somebody I don't know. Robert Whitaker's fighting. Dan Hooker's fighting. Robert Lawler is on that. Looks like they're still trying to fight out, match up some guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
none of those are live,
Max Holloway is trying to fight the what is his name? The Asian zombie or whatever.
Oh, Korean zombie.
The Korean zombie. Yeah. Which would be a pretty fun fucking fight too. But nope, I must have. I don't know what I saw then. I can't even find it now.
Oh, and I'm making up stuff over here.
Oh.
Most of the time,
Well,
I'll take the
usually
hit there.
he just kind of throws something to the wall and see what sticks. That's what I was doing. So roll over to some NBA. There was a few things I wanted to talk about. Number one, I forgot to bring this up to you. You guys saw the video of Joker, right? Pushing
the Suns owner.
pushing the Suns owner, going for
Yeah.
the ball, which he did. He did go for the ball, but then they're like, "Oh, it was like a flop." But he actually turned that camera around. There's multiple angles. It was a clear.
Oh yeah, it was a forearm shove.
It was a forearm shove, and for a dude that's obviously not near the size of the man Jokic, he's not going to get suspended for it. But
Yeah, did you saw what the owner did though, right? He was like not giving the ball up.
yeah, but leave that to the ref. He literally, if you watch it, Joker ran over there after he was on the court for a few seconds, and then ran over there to grab it. Like you just like entered it to enter it at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I took it. I'm like, I like Jokic. Don't get me wrong, I really do. But I'm like, you didn't even have to insert yourself. You were over here, like I think you were like right in the middle of the paint, like just kind of while everything was going on, and then you kind of ran over there because I thought he was going over there to swing, like there's a little tussle going on, but no, he went over there, grabbed the ball out of the owner's hands, and then shoved him to the seat.
Yeah,
Competitive.
Tensions are high. Playoff basketball. I mean,
I like
it's
it.
Just,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the
I don't know.
chippiness.
yeah.
No reason to get up in that. I'm really surprised he didn't get thrown out. Honestly.
Yeah,
You just got the technical one or whatever. So.
that owner hasn't established himself. He's only been the owner for a few months, so there's no respect or what. Like you can't put the hands on an owner.
Well,
But,
it's funny.
it's MVP.
Yeah, he did put out a statement. The owner did the next day. He's like, I don't think he should get suspended and blah blah blah. But I feel like on the backside, he was probably saying a little something different, you know.
Oh.
Right. He didn't want to look like a bitch or anything like
Yeah.
that. That's why he put it
I
out there
could
like
have taken
that.
him. I would have. Good thing they held me back.
But suspend him, please.
But please break
Keep
his
him out of
legs.
the next game or two.
Right. This just came across. I didn't see this earlier. I'm a little surprised actually. So everyone's been getting all up on top of this Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Number one. A lot of sports analysts are saying it's the number one prospect they've seen. It would be a difficult decision if it was LeBron coming out of high school and this kid right now in the same class, like that type of, which is stupid.
Stupid.
Like he's still frail and bone thin. I don't care where you're launching the three from, but regardless, his handles, he can shoot all that. he is not attending the draft combine. Is that a little crazy for you guys? Is the number, or is it not? Maybe I'm thinking of this wrong. Like maybe he thinks there's nothing else he needs to prove. You literally have me on so much tape or whatever. But isn't that the same as like a college student been doing it too?
That's tough. Like,
Well, we just talked about it. They are considering trying to push that rule where you had to attend the combine and stuff like that to get drafted and stuff. Yeah, interesting.
I think it's
Or maybe it's something that, he's got something going on that he didn't want teams to find out about.
yeah.
Because they go through all
Ooh.
kinds of injuries, physicals and
yeah,
all that
physicals
kind of stuff,
and all that, and like,
everything like that. So, yeah, I wonder if
So
something
that's
like
under the
going on.
radar stuff right there that a lot of people don't know. When you go to these, you're getting. It isn't just how you're
Yeah.
producing.
You see doctors and
measure.
stuff.
You go over, a bunch of doctors, physicals, all that shit. Wonder if there is.
It's fair too. Like he's got so much hype, it could only hurt him, right? If he goes and does anything wrong, anything.
wrong, right?
It's not gonna help him. There's nothing that could help him. So in his situation, I guess I'm kind of. I think I get it. Like why?
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
He doesn't want to step on that scale and find out he's 115 pounds.
Dude, he is
7'4".
so. He reminds me of the fucking Chet, right?
Chet.
Like that dude is too little. I don't care. He's so lanky. Oh man,
Right.
That's
like I
tough
don't
in the
care if
league.
you're gonna grab this rebound over me. I'm gonna throw a little bow, and you're gonna be
And you're gonna fly
out
like
for
7
2 weeks.
Right.
Right.
You're gonna fly like 7 rows in just from a little hip swing, right?
Yeah, and we immediately. Actually, it's funny. I didn't mean to do this, but Chet was out the entire fucking season, right? His rookie season. Like, it's tough to hang, man, when you're that little, that tall, lanky, little. That was a big. Kevin Durant might be like an exception to this, right?
Yep.
When he came in the league, that was a big thing. They're like, I don't know, like he's pretty skinny and everything else.
Yeah, he come from Texas. So.
He came from Texas. That's right.
He set it up. What are you doing over there? You can't set him up with shit like that.
It is
I
what it
know.
is. I mean,
But he's kind of the exception. But that's usually what people think about. But not this kid,
Yeah, I mean, you probably have nothing to gain from it. Don't get me wrong, but that's unless you were a mid to late first rounder or second rounder. Can't say that about every one of them. Like if you're in college, you play basketball. You're playing basketball. There's tape of you. Like you can say that about literally any prospect. Like hold on, you don't need all that. You see me jump out of the gym in this basketball game, this one, like the game tape, which maybe comes back to maybe you don't need all that shit. That's for like players that are trying to, that maybe didn't get enough on tape, that maybe that's what a combine should be for, not the top prospects. You know what I'm saying? They try to make their case to kind of jump up in there. I don't know how I feel about that one.
It could be. My when I first thought about this, when you mentioned that, I'm kind of like, it seems arrogant, right? Like I don't need to go type of a thing. It made me think, who was that? Was it a Georgia player that's like, I'm not visiting with anybody outside of the top 10? It made me think of that. Yeah. I'm like, that's fuck, dude. What if you slip? Something could happen, right? Like,
you seen his deal, by the way, was fully guaranteed, right?
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm laughing. I'm telling you.
I think. Hold on.
I'm telling you.
I think all first round picks are, aren't they?
No. That's negotiated. But but your there's a cap on what you can get. So they could have turned it into, let's say it was $50 million or whatever over 3 years. Usually you can still make.
Hasn't all the rest of the numbers come out?
What's that?
Everybody, everybody else.
I don't know if everyone signed. He was the first one to sign?
he was early. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was early. I don't know if everyone's been signed yet. I haven't gotten a notification that Minnesota's has.
I have not either. Yeah.
So
Let's see, because I saw that was a week ago.
yeah, they said he was the first one. So
I'm
I'm
round
laughing.
pick signing tracker.
I'm still
Let's
laughing.
see it.
I think it was a waste. I'm gonna stick with that. I think it was a waste of.
It's a lot when you don't know,
Yeah,
It is. I know
definitely.
the talent is there from what we saw, right? But you proved enough to me by showing up. Like your biggest job. I don't think I hammered that home enough. Your biggest job interview in your career to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, at least one fucking contract's worth, right? You couldn't show up and work out and finish it, and you were out of shape.
Yeah,
you
that
could
was-
not do it. You're professional, about to be a professional athlete. You have all the services in the world too, to make sure you stay in shape. Everyone's willing to offer you their gym. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I hope this tanks. I hope this hurts so bad, and I hope that another player like right afterwards, like clear cut. You could have had like a Joey Porter Jr. who has a chip on his shoulder. You seen that dad speech?
Yeah.
That was real cool.
Dude, it was awesome.
You find
That was it.
What was it? It was 50 mil.
Oh no, I'm just saying he's the only one so far.
Yeah.
And they say most first round draft picks are fully guaranteed.
Most okay.
Yeah, and then obviously the 5th year option.
That is a pretty big character thing. So we'll see if that keeps going. They've got a lot of veterans on that team, though, so hopefully they can fucking squash a little bit of that and be like, listen, let's put in the work. You know what I mean?
Right. Maybe they can.
Maybe.
I think they're not going to. Yeah, fuck that. You can't get your shit straight. And you had the arrogance enough to say, I'm not visiting anybody outside of the top 10. That does rub me wrong. Like, first off, why wouldn't you? Because what if you knock them dead floor, the interview, everything, and that team want to trade up and come get you?
That's exactly where my head went too. Yeah,
Right.
you might not. It might be a team that actually moves to the top 10.
Right.
Like, now they're not gonna.
So for the past 2 draft classes, the entire contracts of the first 24 picks were fully guaranteed.
That's a
Wow.
little surprising.
Yeah.
There's some wonderful agents right there.
Yeah.
That's some wonderful.
Thank you,
agents.
Kirk Cousins. You changing everything, motherfucker. Jesus.
In a good way.
I don't know. Deshaun Watson.
His was ridiculously high, right? Like, and he hadn't played. Like, that's on the Browns, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would have been more apt to say, Lamar, go ahead and get a fully guaranteed contract. And I mean, Deshaun was out for, and you're still dealing with your cases,
Right.
right? Like, that one's a little different. Like, I don't have a problem with them earning. I mean, they literally take a hit. They could be done the rest of their career, right? The ownership is going to make their millions upon, billions of dollars. Whatever the scenario is, they're still going to be there. So I'm okay with them earning their money, and especially guaranteed. But be proven,
Yeah.
Like, actually, I have more of a problem with the rookies like that, getting
Yeah.
a fully guaranteed contract that literally haven't touched an NFL, NFL team yet. So I don't know. You guys watch any part of the Lakers game?
Yeah.
You see the amazing fourth quarter
I saw
From-
parts of the fourth quarter, yeah.
from one not LeBron James, Lonnie Walker the fourth. That is
Balled out.
15, I think is what it was. 16 was
Yep.
it 16?
Yep.
All in the fourth quarter. Got emotional, buckled down on the court after. Cause not only did he score all of his points in the fourth quarter, but he hit a pretty damn big time shot to take the lead too. Which eventually ended up being the lead for good.
Yeah, man, and he owned his shit too. Like at the end of the game when they talked to him, he's like, I am a role player. He's like, it's something to that effect, right? So I'm doing my best at that job. Like he's not trying to be more than what he is, which is fucking perfect. You need those guys.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
Those are perfect. And that's the reason why I think the Lakers have this may be one of the better teams, all around teams LeBron's ever had. And I say that, and I know all the teams that he's had and all the ones that have been put together. This is including the Miami Heat teams. This is including the Kyrie and Kevin Love, even though a lot of people forget that most of those guys weren't available during the finals or through the playoff runs every time he was there. But that's including that. Like everybody, they have the perfect role players. Everyone's in their position that is supposed to be, and they play it very well. And he has a legit superstar whenever, we all know he has the ability to do it, right? And Anthony Davis. So they're pretty goddamn deep. They have guys that aren't even touching the court right now that you're shocked that aren't touching it, right? And then D'Angelo can go off at any time. That's a perfect three, right? That's exactly what a three should be. You want consistency, but literally all of a sudden he could be the reason why you win a game because he just goes bonkers, right?
Yeah, dude.
And all these players, and you have to have that one scrappy G League dude that has been fighting for an NBA career. You have to have that, and that's Austin Reeves. They have so many good pieces there, but First thing, so they took a 3-1 lead.
They did.
I'm going to go ahead and give you something, which I'm sure you boys already knew. The Warriors came back from 3-1. Western Conference Finals, back when it was the Thunder. OKC had the 3-1 lead with Durant and Westbrook. And LeBron has came back from a 3-1, so he's been a part of one, is what I'm saying, in the finals against the Warriors. By the way, remind me of that Curry thing, by the way. Yeah, you know what. But regardless, any chance the Warriors come back from 3-1?
Not the way they look.
No, not the way. Yeah, I agree. Not the way they're playing, not the way they look. You know, they may win one or get the next one, but no, I don't think so.
I think this is over then.
Yeah, I think the next game the Warriors could win by 20 again, but that's it.
Because of stupid shooting?
Yeah.
And Steph Curry is balling out, right? I mean, he's been the one consistent player. Game in, game out. So, not much to blame him on.
Yeah. I would actually be surprised if the Lakers did win the next game and it's over. I feel like they've got one. If they don't, man, I don't know what's going to happen. Coach is going to be moving. Draymond's gone. Like, there's a lot of shit they're going to have to figure out.
Well, it's got to be.
Obviously, Poole's playing like shit.
Do you maybe even move Poole also? Like Draymond also. I think Draymond's gone. We've all been saying that, right? All year round, all year long. Do you possibly try to move a Jordan Poole right now? Maybe try to get some shit back. It's like he's too inconsistent. He's not exactly.
I think you keep a younger guy like him. You go, okay, our run, we had a good run. Now let's concentrate on getting our other guy, going into not quite a full rebuild, right? Because Clay's there, Steph Curry will finish out his career there, but moving on from some of them old players, potentially maybe even Kerr, being like, let's go get some young blood in here, somebody else,
a new voice.
Yep.
Try to keep the same style of offense, though. I would assume because it's worked pretty damn well, right?
I mean, it's gonna, as long as Steph's there and Clay's there, I mean, it's gonna revolve around the quick shooting threes and stuff like that. So until he's retired, and I think he'll retire with Golden State, I think that's how the offense will run no matter what. But yeah, I mean, I think they look to go younger across the board. Maybe just new people, keep some of the, and maybe even potentially move on from Clay being his injury history and stuff like that. So
I'm not going to completely write them off because I think when you have the shooting that they do have, and it can get stupid, like where they can make anything from anywhere. No matter how good your team is doing, your team could be shooting pretty damn good from the field, 50% from the field, but it doesn't matter if the Warriors are shooting 50% from 3 and they're launching up 40 of those bad boys, right? Or more.
3 is better than 2, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can get on game stretches of that, not just a single game stretches of that. So they have a swinger's chance, I think. I think it's a little more I think it's difficult uphill battle. The Lakers are playing pretty damn well. I mean, we've already seen it once. The one victory was literally that. It was literally the Warriors went bonkers, right? I was telling you guys off air, I believe this actually feels like if they get over this and they do seal this deal, the Lakers, I don't know who's really going to be. Maybe the Suns, if they were to straighten it up against the Nuggets and come out of that series and they get CP3 back, maybe. But this almost feels like this is like to me, it almost feels like the Western Conference Finals for them. I'm not trying to overlook the next team or anything like that, but have we not talked about the Nuggets just not when it comes final time that they're not proven?
Yeah, I think they're going to regret not just pulling out of the series with CP3 being out. Yeah. They're letting him stay in it, and he comes back. It's not going to be good, man. So
because he's what?
What?
Because he's what?
CP3's been out?
No, because he's
who? The what?
Who is he?
Oh, his name's Chris Paul. He's the top 50 point guard of all time.
Top 50? At one point, we're going to get him to say the point guard. It's going to happen. He's going to say the point guard. Speaking of which, and I have proof of this. I have witnesses to it, is what I should say. Kid throwing stuff away at a baseball game, shooting it Curry.
Whatever. Anyway,
I
so-
swear to God. No, I'm being dead serious. He's like, and I was like, Leah, you heard that. You remember that? You saved that for Danny. And then he kept doing it. I'm like, oh, yes. I told you.
Yeah,
Kids
it's
are saying it.
easy to walk behind a kid and be like, "Here's $5."
Did he?
No,
Right.
not the truth. I'm telling you.
Never
Did he-
happened.
Did he wear like a helmet and wear a mouth guard? Or...
No, no, but he. and
time.
if this helps, he hates.
It's not football
he's,
season,
he's
folks.
not he's not a LeBron liker. That's for sure. Because then I was like, you know what? I liked you like a couple seconds ago. Now I kind of want to drop kick you.
Does he know who Kobe is? Like, he's been dead a little bit, right? So does he know? Does he know?
That's true. How old is this kid?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It does. Actually,
I
it
said
comes
kids
into
are
play.
saying Curry.
Eh.
I said kids are saying Curry. This is a kid. He's like, what, 9, 8, 9, 10?
Oh, yeah, so he don't know.
9. I
You
want to say
don't
9.
know anything.
What?
Unblockable turnaround. He don't know.
He said it. That's all you need. That's all these kids are saying.
Yeah. Curry.
Tristan
yeah.
said it.
It's not all these. Okay.
Too. No, also Tristan. I said also Tristan. The one at the baseball tournament was not. That was a different kid completely. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's out there. We need to go out there. We're going to take a poll of this.
I think we already did.
No, we're taking it.
I think we
I think we've
already
done this
have.
multiple
We've done
times.
multiple times.
every day
and people-
because every day it's going to
and
get better and
literally,
better
I don't
and
think
closer and
anybody
closer.
has sided with you.
With literally, how many athletes do we have on the podcast?
Right, and they were like,
none
oh,
of
yeah,
them.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe.
They were all old.
Kobe.
Oh yeah, 18. Yeah.
Oh, so they knew who everybody we were talking about? Gotcha.
No, so I did watch the end of that Philly game the other night, and it was like, so I was at the gym and I'm going back and forth to the TV. Going into the fourth quarter, Philly was up double digits. I don't know, 10, 15 points or something. So I'm like, okay, this will be over. Boston storms back, take the lead. I think they're up 5 points with a couple minutes left. Then all of a sudden I go back and it's tied. And then Boston's in the lead. And James Harden is fucking just balling out.
Going stupid, right?
Just insane, man, against this fucking team. That's the first time I've ever seen him and fucking Embiid on the same page, both balling out and just crushing it. It was fucking so cool to see. That series is really fun. That shit's going to go to 7, man, and it's going to be wild, I think.
58-49 halftime right now, 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, too. I think James Harden, like I said, it's a perfect place for him. If you remember distinctly early on in our podcast, right? Me and you had a very healthy debate about Joel Embiid. And what did I tell you? I told you he
Big
needed,
man can't get MVP.
I didn't say MVP.
We talked about MVP, and you said big man can't get MVP anymore.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember that. But that isn't what I'm talking about.
It's okay.
I said championship though.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wouldn't be able to do it without this style of player with him. Someone that can distribute and take some of the pressure off. It can't be just him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we finally get to see. That and the growth of Tyrese Maxey too, right? I mean, we saw massive jumps last postseason with him. But now it's like they have a legit 3. James Harden is a completely different player. That may sound stupid. We've seen maybe quite a bit of growing up. We've already seen some of the stuff where he's telling them to basically shut the hell up. It's only one game, because he's been there and he's playing. Dare I say, he's playing some defense, shooting, and what was it? Doc Rivers sent him a video or something like that. Did you guys see something like it was kind of to pick his ass up? It was after Game 3 and it was before Game 4.
Oh, yeah, because he played like shit the game before. Yeah.
Yeah, like his worst 2-game stretch in like his whole NBA career on shooting percentage, it was like 7 of, I don't know, 28 or some shit like that.
You know what I think helped? Did you hear that Doc he pulled a Dennis Rodman, and he let him go to Vegas the night before one of the games?
Yeah?
He legit
Did that really happen?
Yeah, that really happened. Yeah, he told him he could go ahead and go. Just get it out and then come back and ball out. And
Where do you go? The all-you-can-eat buffet at the titty
No
bar?
shit.
Or what? Is that where he got popped? Or is he get caught up in then one of those in Houston or something?
But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of that series. I feel like Miami, the road is paved for him, right? The Knicks teams is dinged up, and Jimmy B is playing out of his fucking mind.
And
play out
Julius
Jimmy B.
Randle's kind of playing, or like kind of like a head case, kind of like being a piece of shit right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Miami. We'll see what ultimately happens in the next one. But who do you guys have in this then? It's 2-2. Who do the Sixers finally get over the mountain?
I still say, like I said before, as long as Embiid can play at a high level, and Harden can take that pressure off of him. So I think if he has to do it himself, and or if he gets banged up and and is not getting the help, it's Celtics all the way. But like I said, if he can come back and play at the high level, get the help that he's getting from Harden right now, and the role players, and yeah, they could do it.
I think they're gonna, man. Did you see the video of PJ Tucker? I didn't even know he was still in the league, by the way. This motherfucker is 45.
Right.
But it was towards the end of that game, and PJ Tucker's that hustle guy that you need, right? You just talked about
Yep,
that.
that dude that doesn't fill the stat sheet, but is like all the other shit that doesn't count. Like, it doesn't count.
Exactly, man. And towards the end of that game, Embiid was getting frustrated about something or whatever, and PJ Tucker, and this is the motherfucking MVP of the league, right? And PJ Tucker just walked straight up to him and started yelling at him. And he's like, be fucking aggressive. You need to be more aggressive. Knock it off. Like, get out of your head, type of a thing. Be aggressive. And then fucking Embiid, he did his thing. He picked himself up, played better. Like, I think that is the kind of thing you need. They're, like you said, they won't talk about it in the stat sheet.
Right.
But he's going to make a big difference. I think they eke it out and beat Boston. Plus, Jason Tatum is not playing great either. Like, situationally. Like, I think he's averaging 26. But
Well, that
15% from three or something ridiculous. Like, it just...
I'm not saying it can't work, but that two-man style of, like, kind of basketball that Celtics run, especially relatively young coach, I think he's like 35, the one that took over for that Idoka or whatever. That two-man type of, like, like what the Suns are doing right now is working. And they're doing two-man basketball, come down the court, and one of them is launching, right? That's kind of what the Celtics are doing. I don't know how successful that's going to be without running, like running a system. Like, it's a little different. Like when the Warriors in their heyday, it wasn't just Clay and Curry. Most of the players were averaging double digits around them. There was a system that was going on. Yes, they had the flashy names, Splash Brothers, and them, shit like that. But it was actually everybody was involved. Just nobody talked about it. It was like double digits for everybody. We're getting everybody that.
Right.
I don't know how successful that can be for the Celtics. And I think the 76ers, if they stay healthy and the way they are playing, if you go and look at the stat sheet at the end of this, it isn't going to be just James Harden and Joel Embiid. It's going to be some Tyrese Maxey. It's going to be a little bit of Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris will only get like 12 points, but that's kind of what you need, right? Just they have a pretty damn good, well-rounded team, and Embiid helps bring that together. That's what an MVP does, kind of help distribute the ball around too. So
it'd be kind of cool too. I've never been a big Dot guy. Like, I feel like he kind of walked into a championship, right?
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of cool to see him get a chance at another one at least, with these guys.
Especially when he way underperformed with the Clippers. Right?
That's putting it nice. Yeah.
That's putting it way nice. I mean, all the pieces in the world there for...
He didn't have a very good point guard, though, right?
He had the point guard.
What was his name?
I mean, I don't know if you can get much higher. Can you get much higher than God?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Right? I don't need ferment.
I saw an interesting... Hold on. I do... Okay, this is totally related. Comparison. Whose career would you rather have? Chris Paul's or Rajon Rondo?
Ooh. CP3. Rajon
probably. I go with Rondo.
You want the championship part, but not. Yeah. I'm not saying it isn't good, it isn't sexy or anything like that, but his career is his excellence was very short lived. It really was.
He's like playoff Rondo too, right? It was really just playoff time too.
Playoff time, like when he went even like that awesome little run 7-game series that he did when he was with the Pelicans. That was really cool to watch, and he took his game to a stupid level, like where it wasn't at the regular season, right? But he's been a role player, literally been a role player for over half of his career, right? And I know CP3's hasn't panned out to a championship yet. Maybe it happens this year. It could be next year. Maybe it doesn't happen at all. At the end of the day, he was always there. Like he was always competing. He was all. I don't know if another player ever had a ref against him as much as that one dude though. Dude, it's a stupid.
He finally got the win. One of these games against Denver the series before? He was like 0-19 before that game, and they finally got his one win.
Right, and his stat
come across, yeah.
And everything is like stupid low when it's just this one ref, right?
Yeah.
But regardless, I would have to be. It's a very prestigious career. It might not have the championships. It has everything else, though. It does. And
Isn't it wild though? If there was no championships included, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
yeah. No, not at all, right?
That's
Yeah,
how.
yeah.
Fuck, championships are so important, man.
They are.
Because Rondo's not even close.
Right.
No, not
You
in
know?
any aspect.
It's crazy.
Not to mention, I got State Farm commercials, baby.
Yeah.
What it is?
Speaking of refs, have you? And I saw something come across. Was it yesterday or something like that? What do you think about the free throw differential in the Warriors-Lakers series?
What is that? What is it? Do you have it?
Oh yeah. So I don't. I'll have to go by game because it is.
Please educate me.
It is, and somebody brought it up, and I finally just looked at it, and it is something crazy. Lakers shot 29 free throws in game 1, 6 for the Golden State Warriors. They lost by 5. And it was game 1. Game 2,
That's a huge disparity right there.
yeah. Game 2, Lakers shot 17. Golden State 16. So that one was close. I think that's the only one that is close.
Yeah, you can go through the numbers. It makes sense. They're two totally different teams. The Lakers get most of their points in the paint. Golden State shoots. Whether it's a 3, mid-range, or whatever, they do not drive to the cup very often.
Yeah, they're pulling
37 to 17. What was
37's a lot of free throws.
That is a lot.
37's
of free throws.
lot of
That's
free
a lot.
throws. And then
I do want to hear the last
what
one.
was the last one?
But I am with you. Like the pull up.
12 to 20.
That isn't even that too bad.
Just one game
when,
was
when
really
you
bad.
when you watch
Two of them were.
Oh, the
bad.
first one.
First one was really,
first one was real bad too. So 2 of them are really bad. The other one was like right square on, and the other one was like within 8.
Right, but I'm saying so the 2 games that they're way different. I mean, it's a 3-point win and a 5-point win. I think was the other one. So
the easy one now I can get. Okay, so I'm gonna say this in 2 different ways. First one is I can see this if you're a Warriors fan, especially, right? Like, God damn it. And then you're gonna start paying attention to every little hip check and stuff like that. You're gonna be like, where the fuck's foul on that? You know?
Yeah.
I understand. I do. I would probably say if it was the other way. I really would. In this one, if you watch how they play, they do not look for contact in any way, shape, or form. When Steph Curry comes down the lane, he's doing a floater. He's dead stopping and floating it up. He's not trying to body into them. He can't take those type of absorption type of shots. Klay Thompson kind of the same way. Draymond's not the same player he used to be. Like when you would kind of get him down there and he'd bang around and he'd get free throw opportunities. Feels like he would always get like about 7 or 8 himself at one point, you know, because he's a smaller power forward, right?
right, yeah.
The rest of these guys are launching from stupid 3, you know, like a 3, but stupid range too, like Jordan Poole. None of these guys go to the cup. I guarantee this number would be completely different. LeBron is a driver of the cup. AD goes down to the cup. Austin Reeves, like every time I see a highlight reel from him, it's not from him shooting. You know, he gets down in there. He's doing some wild shit. He's down in there banging around, you know, like. I think that's something that they need to look at, as in the Warriors. The coach needs to bring this up, be like, attack the fucking paint. Like, I know we live and die, but like we're getting beat up nationally, especially by like a Charles Barkley and all them, like flat out saying like it's do or die 3.
Yeah. They actually last game had more points to the paint than the Lakers.
Right, but that's
52-46.
but that's what I'm talking about. That's that floater. I'm talking about the body up. You go and watch it. How much were you actually seeing a body up move? Where they're like slashing to the lane? Yeah.
No, I haven't watched
you.
all these games, so when I saw it brought up and I looked, yeah, big time
there's a
disparity.
huge disparity.
I would be interested to see like the 3-point shooting difference between the teams in those like, really bad ones.
I would say, yeah, we know that
You know what I mean? Like
they're gonna outshoot everybody.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be wild because they're the fucking opposite style teams. Big team versus literally they paved the way for the small team. The fucking, it's the word I'm looking for. The fucking, they don't have any bigs.
The run and gun.
Yeah,
Basically,
like just shooting. Like,
your center is 6'8",
right?
6'6". Actually, Draymond's what 6'6", 6'7". I'm pretty sure. I think he's somewhere right around there. I don't even think he's 6'8". So that was your center when they're wheeling and dealing and running, right? Let's never forget Zaza Pachulia hooked him up with the championship. Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm talking about. That ankle.
That ankle, man. I just was wondering. Obviously, y'all have seen more of the games than I have.
Yeah.
I got to watch them all. So
When I like I said, when I was watching, there wasn't like anything that. And this is me not trying to put goggles on. I'm like, there was some where they were giving the fouls on. We were watching that over at Marv's, remember? And the one, I'm like, they were calling some dumb fouls. It might have been that one of those games.
it was like that was the Grizzlies series.
It was
that was the Grizzlies.
Oh, that was the
series.
Grizzlies
Yeah.
one, yeah.
And
So,
it was
my bad.
when and we saw a couple that were really
was the
bad.
flop,
Yeah.
bad, like horrible, no contact at all, multiple times. I'm like, you guys, and they were blowing them out already.
Yeah.
Like Lakers were already blowing them out, and you were still doing that.
LeBron literally wouldn't get touched, and he'd go like this.
God
Then
damn it.
I was like, holy shit.
I was just gonna say I'm so tired of seeing the videos of him flopping when nobody touches him,
Yeah.
like falling down when literally
That's
nothing
what
happens.
that was what he was
God
doing.
damn
And then whistle. It's like, what the fuck?
So maybe there's something to it.
I don't know. I haven't seen any videos of stuff like that. I just saw somebody pull up,
Yeah.
and it was one of the games that was way off, and obviously that adds up because it's been off.
Yep.
For sure.
It's been in the Lakers in favor of the Lakers every game, so now it's way, one-sided. But
65-51 into the third. 76ers Celtics.
Rio has one thing. He had a big one that I forgot that we should bring up tonight. Our guy for the Bills.
Yes.
Matt Araiza, the punter for the Bills, the punt god,
The punt god.
one would say.
Oh, you'll say that? That'll roll right the fuck off your tongue. But not the
So
73.
close. All right, I do struggle though because I think McAfee probably owns that title, but this guy could take over. Maybe he's his son. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Illegitimate.
perhaps. Yeah, but it come out that the DA come out saying that he was not present at the time of the alleged rape that got him kicked out of the NFL. Timestamps put this happening at about 1:30 in the morning, and he was gone at 12:30. By 12:30.
Allegedly. But yes.
Yes.
And the interesting part when you brought this up that we found out was that came from the DA's office. That didn't come from his defense attorney. That came from the office of the people that are trying to put you that are charging you, that are going to court and trying to battle you for it, right?
Yeah.
The chances that the Bills apologize?
0.
0.
Anybody in the NFL, man, that needs a fucking punter, like when they heard this, because a lot of this started to come out in December, and I didn't know that, but like how I just hate this. Like,
Well,
once
he's probably
somebody
on the
has a
exempt
stigma,
list. He's probably on the exempt list, so he's already capped at, and it comes down to Roger. Really?
So, right here, I didn't catch this when we were talking about it. It says that also in all these videos that they reviewed was not visible in any of them.
And it's not visible that there's actually a rape that occurred.
Right.
yeah. So they're not only might there not be charges, it looks like there's not going to be charges against him, but it looks like they might not be able to charge anybody.
Anybody.
Oh. So, let's say, I don't know if we've ever had this on the record here, like on our show. So, let's say, come to find out nothing happened. Okay? No sexual assault, even, let alone rape. What should happen to her?
Ooh, Araiza has filed a claim against San Diego State University for damage to his reputation.
Good.
Good, because he's losing out on millions, right?
Millions. What should happen is she should go to prison for the same amount that he would have gone to prison for. That's what should happen. But I don't think there's any kind of like statute or whatever that allows for retribution like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know why.
False claims, but it's nowhere near what the charge would be. And usually, I don't even know if a lot of times they even charge them with that when they do come to find out that nothing literally happened. It was false claims altogether. I'm not saying that is the case here. We don't know if it really did, but there's a lot of things that are looking like what they've dug up that at least he wasn't there during. It's looking like he may not have been there at all during that time.
Yeah.
So
Shame. I mean, we've seen this over and over. people get away with this saying because either they want something or whatever is going on for whatever reason, fame, I don't know. And people's lives get ruined.
It also makes it. What's also bullshit.
And there's no repercussion for them doing it. Like, it's just like it goes away and they're like whatever, but the other person never gets their shot at, professional career or anything, whatever they were trying their entire lives to capture,
Now, this is all, like I said, all hypothetical because we don't know if it actually hasn't happened yet. It isn't 100% official that it didn't happen, right? It's because we use the word it looking like. But what also is not just ruining their life, but you know what? It also makes it a hell of a lot more difficult for somebody to come forward when something does happen to them that really did happen.
Yeah.
And then you also have it like flip side that way, because you might
right. Say that this San Diego State University does have to pay old boy for, next time a young lady comes up and it's like, hey, I was raped, this and that, and they're way too precautious, right?
Yeah. We'll look into it.
Yeah, and nothing happens,
Yep.
How messed up is that going to be on the flip side? So, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So it could be more difficult for that time period. But all right, gentlemen.
It's Ruby Tuesdays is what we're going to call this.
You like this? Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
All right. This one's going to be a little more simpler of one, okay?
Is it ever with him?
This one is. This is pretty clear cut. So my man Ruben, he has a decent looking vehicle. He really does. I think if you're into that style, it's
is it a Nissan? What is it?
It's a Toyota.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it 4Runner?
Yeah. RAV4. I don't know. Okay.
Kind of
I do.
Kind of like an Xterra.
Yeah.
Was that X-Earth? Yeah. But
Literally means
either way,
X-Earth.
not too bad of a vehicle or anything. And I asked him. So this is gonna be kind of a two-part. The first one is that paid up. He likes it. Loves his vehicle. It's new. Takes great pride. Takes care of it. Blah 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 blah. Right. Where we work, it is pretty nasty, right?
Nah.
No, I mean just like the dust, the smell. I'm not saying what it provides isn't bad, but
Nah.
nah.
Yeah. It's got a particular smell to it that can leave things not pleasant.
And it kind of like embeds and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
It really
it lingers.
Yeah.
Linger.
This man doesn't take a shower before he goes home.
The fuck?
No.
Hopping in the vehicle, and I'm telling you from experience, when I was a temp, I used to hop in this old beater of a car to drive home, and I don't know, a few times a week, maybe I wouldn't shower there, just want to get home, or I had to get home quick, and that shit stays in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was, I'm like, you're sitting here beating your chest about this vehicle, how nice it is, and blah, 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 and you took pride, and and you did a lot of research on it before you got it, and made sure it had everything inside that you wanted, and you don't shower before you go home.
Maybe
Ever.
Will
Why?
likes it.
Oh.
I don't know. More specifically, not I don't know. I do know.
It's because he's shy.
No. There's curtains.
Because he's got a long...
That's what I was going to say. Maybe he just...
Well, he said a monster.
he's too proud.
He
Whatever.
said monster.
I was going with long dong, but it came naturally.
I've heard that before.
I'm actually thinking that he must have some sort of filtration system at his home because, remember, he's the serious advocate of not having water touch his skin because of fluoride.
This man's got like ionized water at home or some bullshit.
He's baked it for like 3 days, boiled it for 3 days.
But this also led to the reason why even that got brought up was when he's doing his humping and grinding with this girl. He's like, I just can't do it. Like, what if I don't know. He's going so many different ways. He's talking about feelings. He's talking about this, that, and the other. And I'm like, hold on a second. First off, and I've already said this, you're way overthinking all of this. You were just talking about this vehicle you went and got. You did all this research, did all this, that, and the other. I'm like, did you just go to the dealership, wherever it was, doesn't matter. Did you go to the dealership and just say, I'm buying that and just drive off with it? Well, yeah. I'm like, you didn't test drive it first. No, of course I test drove it. Why wouldn't I? So, point out to him, like, why wouldn't you take that? Which you basically already are test driving it, just with like clothes in between. Why wouldn't you take that for a test drive before you know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you turn it into like girlfriend, wifey material.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take it for a test drive?
Right. This
Like,
slide's
if
too
it-
slippery or way too like
Yeah, dude. If you're
Like,
buying a convertible, you need to take the top down.
right.
You need to get the full experience.
Exactly.
Right. Need to make sure everything's in good working proper order. And
Right, and if they're too, it's just too sagging and just too loose, and things don't match up and go where they're supposed to, you leave it in the lot.
You have a couple rattling
you
bolts.
Right, you leave it in the lot and you
Pick a different one.
Pick a different
Yeah.
one.
Sometimes the chairs are a little too wore in, right? There's maybe a little too much room, and you're like, listen, I
Right.
can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta fucking know.
Right. You can always go get another Forerunner.
You can always go get another.
Yeah, because you can always tell, right? You get
Right,
into a car,
and-
you can tell when somebody's been sitting in that same spot, like a lot, like somebody has sat in that chair
a whole lot.
A lot. You
The best
can tell.
part,
The
then,
cushion is kinda
then
like
you can
torn
give
on
it
the
back,
way
and
in.
maybe you didn't like that color. You can switch colors. You can
Yeah.
look, and pick a different one that's cool.
Exactly.
Fuck's sake. But at least you cats are on the same page with me. Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Absolutely makes sense if you don't think about it.
Roll Ruby.
Hopefully you take our car advice seriously because we got this shit down pat.
Yeah.
Old Ruby Tuesdays. Yeah, this vehicle thing is very, very serious here. But hold on. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add to that too. Would you go take it for a test drive with the vehicle cover still over the top?
What?
Clothes, Danny.
No, but I put
No.
I put something down first, like a towel or something, and and then hop in it. So,
All right, yeah. Let's go further. Like,
Seat
are
covers?
you? Let's say so. He's got
put
a
a seat cover on.
he's
right?
got a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah.
So are you gonna you can go dirt roads too?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah, you've got to, right? When
You got to make sure that the suspension is all good, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You don't do that after you buy it.
Yeah, because what if it's way too worn out and you're just like, gosh, man,
Yeah. No way.
Like this isn't that bumpy.
it's not gonna be as fun anymore.
There's a bunch of dead animals and like blood on the road or some shit. Like you don't want that. You can't do that. So
Ruby Tuesdays.
can't wait to get him on the podcast. This is gonna
Yeah,
be
we need to get him going. Seriously, you'll enjoy it. Just get him going, get him talking.
Yeah, we'll
get some life experience.
We'll bring him in here. We'll get a case of Bud Light. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
absolutely
One side.
Well, let's wrap this shit up, gentlemen. For those of you beautiful people that found us out there on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But speaking of that, Jimmer, where's the podcast available?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. YouTube.
Let's go. And don't forget about YouTube. We also love to tell a good story, as you can hear from we're just going to coin that shit Ruby Tuesdays because we got a lot, it sounds like, from him. But we love to tell a good story. And if you want us to share yours, just go ahead and slide on in.
To our DMs, man. Get us that story. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We do as well. We can omit names, change names. It don't matter. But get us that story, and we'll get it out to everyone else.
Absolutely. And I just got a notification that Jokic hugged the Suns owner, before the game. So it looks like there's no hard feelings over there in
Yeah.
Phoenix. I don't know if they're in Denver or Phoenix or not. But
Should be in Denver, right?
I think they're back, right?
2-2?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
should be in Denver.
Boom. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Big Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, damn it, look, I got it right.